Okay, so in this video, I want to look at something we call the parallelogram law for adding two vectors. So I'm going to put these two vectors, A and B, I'm going to put them tail to tail. So there's vector A, and there's vector B. And this I'm going to assign this angle here, 60 degrees between those two vectors. Okay, so now I'm going to go right here. I'm going to start where these two tails meet, and I'm going to make this vector, and I'm going to say that that vector is A plus B, and I'm going to prove it. Now, right here, that 60 degrees was not cut in half, all right? So we cannot assume that was cut in half, but we do know that it's 60 degrees between those two vectors. So I have to prove that that vector I just made was A plus B, so I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go here to B, and this vector here is going to be parallel to vector A, so that's also going to be vector A. And then this vector, well, actually, what do I want to do? I think just to show it a little bit better, it's got to connect. So let's draw this a little bit better. There we go. That's better. That's A plus B. And the reason it is because, remember that shortcut we always talk about? So if you travel along B and you travel up to A, that's the long way. So then the shortcut would be A plus B. Even though we went that way, B plus A is equal to A plus B. Same thing. So that proves that that vector we just did, I'm just going to erase those highlights, is A plus B. Now, parallelogram, well, this vector up here, parallel to vector B, so it's also vector B, and there's your parallelogram. So now, I want to show you something neat, so I'm just going to, hopefully I don't lose that. Okay, just going to write that A plus B there. So what's interesting is that if you look here, I'm going to change the highlighter. So I want to focus on this triangle of the parallelogram. Remember when I said that this was 60 degrees there? So if it's a parallelogram, then that means this angle here, because those two interior angles of a parallelogram will add up to 180, has to be 120. So we're going to add a little bit more information here. We are going to give you that the magnitude of A is 3. Remember, magnitude is length of a vector. Magnitude of B is 2, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to apply those lengths, 2 and 3. So if I want to calculate the magnitude of A plus B, I'm going to apply the cosine law. So we know the cosine law, because that A plus B is opposite the 120. So remember, magnitude of A plus B is the length of that. So you could also kind of take that triangle out if you wanted to. Sometimes it helps just to redraw it. Kind of takes away some of that busyness. See, this is what you're looking at. You know, and if this was like just regular A, you know, not vector, you would go and apply your cosine law there. So again, cosine law would be magnitude of A plus B squared equals magnitude of A squared plus magnitude of B squared minus 2 times magnitude of A times magnitude of B cosine of 120. So just filling in, that means we'd have 3 squared plus 2 squared. Okay, this is exactly the cosine law that we are used to for triangles finding lengths. Now we have to keep saying magnitude of A because we are talking about vectors. Okay, so this would be 9 plus 4, 2 negatives there, going to make it positive. So 19, remember you wanted the magnitude of A because you use the cosine law, that was the magnitude squared. So you would have to take the square root.